Hello and welcome to Love to Inspired Handmade with Christina. Today is October 17th of 2025 and I'm thrilled to be back here with you. And I thought today I would totally change things up because I love 3D projects, gift bags, gift boxes, all the treat little things. They are my total favorite, but since it's almost Halloween, how about this cute little Frank guy? Isn't he adorable? Yes, and I'm going to show you how you can create this simple little guy, and he is perfect for that last minute little treat thing that you need to make and get out the door to, I don't know, a class, some friends, office personnel, family, just whoever you want to create one for. I love making these little treats sometimes just to give to my postal people or delivery people, just something to, give them a little thinking of you and bring a smile to their face. And on top of that, it has cute little or sweet treats in it. So fun. Okay, let me turn the camera down because if you still haven't started getting your Halloween treats made up, if you like to give things out to people, this one is one that will definitely ensure to bring a smile on somebody's face, and you're just not going to want to miss out on all the things. So let me see which way I need to go here. Trying to make us all even like to the best that I can. That'll have to work. Okay, here we go. So you're just going to need a few simple things, excuse me, to get started. Now I'm using for this the two-toned Granny Apple Green cardstock. It's got the darker side and the lighter side. It's 6x6 sheets, and on 3 sides I'm cutting it at, I'm scoring it at 1.5, going all the way around. Now if you're using a 12x12, you can totally measure this out and not cut it into a 6x6 and score it, accordingly to that as well. So let me see if I can kind of gauge that for you. So you have your 1.5, it looks like 4.5, 7.5, and again at 10.5. So you could do that if you'd like, but you would still score it at 1 on 3 of the corners. So yeah, you'll need 2 of those. And then you're going to need some scrap pieces of cardstock. You'll need your white pieces, so you're going to need to cut out in a 1-inch circle, whether that's with a punch or a die. And you're going to need 2 of those because that's going to be for the eyeballs. And then I have, hang on, I'm losing sidetrack on what I need. Okay, and then I got a scrap piece of the Granny Apple Green. Now I'm going to need 3 of these. No, I'm going to need 2 of these, and you're going to cut them in half because you'll need 3 of these pieces. And then, let me get this out of the way. The final thing that we will want is our basic black. Now let me see over here in my scraps real fast. Get me a scrap piece. And you'll need 2 of your basic black circles, and they're cut at 3/4. So there's your little pieces that you need to have on hand. Now for the hair, I had used, because this is unfortunately now retired, but it is the frozen edge dies, and I got just the dies. I didn't even get the stamp set or the bundle. I got the dies because when I seen this little frozen edge here, it made me completely think of Frank. Right? Perfect for the hair. If you don't have the dies, have no worries though. Get your snips out and you can still cut out your the hair piece that you need on the top. So just a little fun note there. That is what I used for it. If you have it, go dig it out and start creating. If you don't sweat it. Go ahead with it. So the box measures at 3 by 4.5, okay? So that'll kind of let you know how long you're going to need these pieces. I didn't cut these yet because I thought that I would do that with you. I have 2 pieces cut because I decided, you know, this is his face, so we really needed to go all the way around, so that's the back of his head, right? So I will show you those little tidbit things in just a moment. I'll move these things out of the way and let me get my glue. Now I've decided that I wanted to go with, I've got a shadow over our thing here. Let's see if we can fix that a little bit. You see that shadow? I do, it's kind of bugging me. Maybe, there we go. It's still there, but not quite as bad. Okay, so you've got your 2 sides. This is one of these things that I'm really starting to love with this 2-tone cardstock, among other things. But so you can choose, do you want a lighter frank or a darker one? I'm going with the darker color on here. So I want to make sure that the darker color is face down, and I'm going to piece these 2 together from one score line to the other. I'm not even going to start trimming anything yet, so let me just add a light layer across here of the glue. And then you're going to take it, let's make sure your score lines are on the same, and then just kind of line it up to that score line edge here. So then that way it's easier to fold and it doesn't interrupt you when you're starting to piece the box together. So let me give that a good little firm tug here. Now you can do the bottom 2 different ways. You can go ahead and seal it together to make the box and then trim the sides up like this, or go ahead and do that before you put it together. So I'm going to go ahead and put mine together though. So let me fold my score lines. And this 2-tone cardstock is actually a little, oh, what's the word? It's a little lighter than the other cardstock that we have. So it's easier to fold the score lines with, and if you don't have your bone folder handy. So now that we have this, we want to add glue to one side and go ahead and attach it over. So let's do that real fast. Just lightly going over the edges here, because I don't want it to just like ooze out. So if you lay that flat, this piece will go right on top of it, and you can just seal it down just like so. Right. Go ahead and do that to this side. Now it should stand up just like so. Yay! It's awesome. Okay, now on the end that has the score, we're going to go ahead, it might be a little cumbersome, but not too terribly bad. You're going to cut all the way up to that score line on all 4 sides, just like so. Da-da-da. Oh, get my hand steady. Okay. Now, just fold these little flaps in, out, get them a little flexible for you, so then that way, I'm going to fold this one out because I'm going to add just a little bit of glue to this bottom flap, just so that it holds to when I fold the card in, or I mean my box flap in, apologize. Now when I have it might not stick right away, don't sweat it, because we're going to turn it back over and we can put our hand in there and make sure the flaps actually attach to this piece. So add just a little bit more glue and then fold it over. Give it a little gentle squeeze here just to kind of make sure that it lines up all the way over. And then you can flip it over. It's kind of cumbersome to put your hand all the way in there, but if you just put something in there like so, give it a good little push, and that's it. All right, now let's do the top of this, okay? So like I said, I have one of my strips, so I'm going to take it, and you can go and wrap it halfway around. I didn't really want to do that. The front of this is 3 inches, so I'm going to measure it out and then just trim it 3 inches. Now you're going to need 2 3-inch pieces. Now this one that you trimmed off is going to be just a smidgen too short, So you're going to want to take your second piece to do the same thing again, okay? So I'm going to just line him up just like so. So now we have the front and the back. We got 2 of those. And then you're going to take these 2 little bit shorter pieces and you're going to measure them out at 1 inch. Be easier if I had kept my paper trimmer out, but I did not. So we're just going to mark that little fella and we're going to totally go with it. I think it was 1 inch. Let me check that one more time. I lied. That was 1.5. I am so glad I checked that out. Okay, so let me go over a little bit more. We would have totally cut that and he would have had, his sideburns would have just been really short. That would have been funny. Okay, so let me snip it down the side, get rid of that piece. I'm going to do that one more time on this other side. My extra piece. All right, now let's put this baby together. Are you ready? Here we go. This is super simple, I'm telling you, and it's such a fun little thing to create. And I like to giving it a little bit more thickness. This actually measures about 1.5 inches is how thick I made the hair, just because I wanted it to, I didn't want him to look, I mean, there's all different kinds of Franks and it wouldn't look bad if it looked like he would had it shorter where he was receding, you know, had that receding hairline. That would have been cute. Either way, I love me some Frankenstein. He is one of my faves of the old monsters, so this was really like ideal to put together. So how are you guys doing? Did y'all have a wonderful week so far? I hope so. You got big weekend plan? We actually do. We are going, and it's a fun little rally that we go to close to home every year. And so we're going to go over there. It's a motorcycle rally, and hang out and see old school bikes and friends, and it's just going to be a grand old time. So yeah, I can't, there you go. Okay, so start with your white pieces and then take your little black pieces, stick them right in the center. Now your white piece is at 1 inch, this one's at 3/4. Now I don't have a white ink pen by me, but you could add an extra detail to that and put a little white in the eye. That would be really cute. Okay, so when I said you needed 2 of the green ones here, the granny apple, you're going to cut them both in half, just like so. And because it's two-tone, you can use either the same side, but you see this lighter on the other side, you got the same color or the lighter one. I'm going to use the lighter one on top of his eyes because I thought that was just really cute, just to kind of give a little bit of contrast to the eyeballs. So just now you layer that, and then actually reminds you of frog eyes too. Y'all like punch art? You can get really creative with your punches and create all kinds of things. I used to do a lot of punch art. Maybe I should try that again. All right, and then you're just gonna need one of the other halves. This one is just scraps, or if you're making several of them, use it for that. Now the next thing is with the nose. This piece is going to be for his nose. I used the darker side on his nose, but I added a little scrap piece of a dimensional to the back of it. And the eyes I'm going to put on with my glue. So let me get that back out, find about where I want to lay everything before you start gluing stuff, right? Because that plays a factor in all the things. And you can change his face up too. You can keep it where he's, like on this one, I have his eyes a little more slanted. You could keep them straight. I think it just gave him more character to kind of, you know. So it's really fun. You can put a whole lot into how you want to create your little Frankenstein. He's just so cute. I love it. All right, so there we go. We're starting to come along. The next thing we're gonna do is take your Stampin' Up marker, and it's got two sides to it, so you have a fine tip or you have a thicker one, whichever one that you're more comfortable using. And now you're just going to create some kind of fun little mouth on him. So I start with eyeballing just about where I want his lines to meet at, and then this time I'm just going to make him a little crinkly, right? There's no wrong way to create these. You want to give him a few scars because that's where we all know Frank to have. Give him a few scars on his face. And then, ta-da! There you go. So stinking cute. I love it. Okay. The final thing is let's dress it up. So I love crinkle paper, right? I use that stuff for everything. So with that, I'm going to take and put some of this in here. And plus, especially if you get it during like Easter and stuff, it always smells so sweet and good. So just put however much you need in there. I'm going to go with it here. And then you just fill it with your treats. And you can fill the treats in a cellophane and then stick them in. Because he's going to be in cellophane on top of cellophane, I'm just going to, whoops, throwing stuff at me. I'm just going to put a few treats in there, just like so. I really want this purple to hang out with me. So you've got all your little treats going. Now have no fear, it's not going to fall out, because then you're going to take one of your cellophane bags, put him inside there. Just like this, and then take you some ribbon, whatever you have handy. Just kind of tie it up or pinch the top up, just like so. Get some of the air out because it makes it easier. Now I'm using this pretty iridescent ribbon that we have here. It's kind of got the, let's see, what is it? Petunia pop, but it's got that real pretty. I just love the shimmer, and of course I love my black and white gingham. So I'm just going to, now I'm not giving you measurements because this is how I tie a lot of ribbon, because I just get what I think I need and I tie it around it, and then I trim it, right? Because then I don't feel like I'm taking off and cutting up more ribbon than necessary. I don't know. That may just be in my head, but that's how I do it. All right, let's get our bow tied. Da, da, da. Let's see if it works well with me. We're on camera, so it's not. It's always how it goes, though, right? Okay, here we go. Da, da, da. Oh, yeah, see? Turned out really great. And then you just snip him off at the bottom, just about. Let me get it untangled here so I can kind of eye it. And I'm just cutting it at a slant there. Well, there we go. And then the only thing that would make it a final little, you know, perfect, cute little gift for you is adding a tag. And that's it. So thank you for stopping by and watching me create these fun little Frankensteins with you today. I hope you have a marvelous weekend, truly. If you enjoyed what you saw today, please leave a comment, or if you haven't subscribed to my channel and ring that bell so you never miss a video. I'm always coming with you with something fun and new. And I hope you just sit down in that little room of yours or craft area and you just get on to creating. And I will be back with you next Friday, October 24th of 2025 at 4 p.m. So till then, you guys take care. Bye.